Hello and welcome to our next crowd property funding opportunity. Today we're looking at the land at Spinks Lane, Wymondham in Norfolk, NR18 0SR. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform. It's designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders, and this is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. So let me introduce to you the borrower on this particular project. It's Wymondham Homes Limited, their company number 10664553. And I'm delighted to say that the director, George Laws, is able to join me on this webinar. Hi, George.
Hello.
So you're the sole director of this company. Give us a little bit more of your background.
Okay, so my background originally is IT and web, and then eventually I got talked in to do some property projects. Initially, these were all refurb, sort of buy, refit out and sell on, some of which I retained as rentals over the years. But more recently, I've got into the new build sector, and my most recent project, which is in Dereham in Norfolk, was quite successful. I managed to build 9 units there with a build cost of 1.3 million and a GDV of 2.5. Sort of been in and out of property now for about 10 years, all within the Norwich area, Norfolk, which is where the site we're proposing to do is located, in Wymondham.
Now, your portfolio at the moment is worth £4 million. On this particular project, you're using a build team as well. Subcontracting works out to A&T Barnes, the main contractor. The manager of operations there is Adrian Barnes. Just tell us a little bit more about him.
Yeah, so Adrian, again, he sold his business about 20 years ago and went into property development. He does sort of 50% of his time doing his own developments, own land purchases and building out and selling, and then he works for some individuals like myself. I've worked with Adrian initially about 10 years ago, so we've done a few things together. He does specialise in the sort of high-end properties, and the site at Wymondham that we're proposing is exactly that. So he's the right guy to sort of lead this project. He will be running day-to-day project on site, and I'll be supporting him in that.
So let's look then at your project. This is phase 1 we're talking about on this webinar of 4 phase raise, where CrowdProperty's agreed a development finance facility which totals £2 million. This is developed this site in Norwich in Norfolk. The loan is for a term of 15 months. It's going to be paying 8% per annum equivalence interest, rolled up and paid at the exit. And this first phase raise is for £600,000. Just give us a little bit more of the background as to how you found this site.
Yeah, so I actually live in Wymondham, and I came across this site, which is down a small lane, quite an exclusive area. So I spotted the opportunity online, and initially it had outline planning for 5 much smaller dwellings. So I sort of looked at it, how we could rework it, and I actually purchased it 2 years ago with a sort of deferred payment, which is why the initial raise is 600,000. I spent the last 2 years going through planning, changing, adapting, and sort of coming up with this scheme that we've got now. And I think it's sort of, for the area that we're building in, the right type of property, and should sort of achieve those higher end values that we're looking at.
Now, of course, the village of Wymondham, population of around about 20,000 people, is quite well positioned, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's actually, last year was listed as one of the top 10 places to live in the country. It's a lovely little market town. It's got a rail station with close links to Cambridge and then on to London. So as it says on there, you can get to London within a couple of hours. The development site, you can walk into Wymondham town in about 15 minutes. There's a couple of supermarkets. Waitrose is the closest, with about a 10-minute walk. Good bus links, good schools, good colleges, and in terms of sort of distance from Norwich city centre, it's about 15 minutes in the car. And again, good access to the A11, which is sort of the main link down to London by road.
Now you're going to be building 5 dwellings here, garages as well, and obviously improvements to the highway. The total development is 12,270 square feet, a range of different sizes on those different projects, and the anticipated gross development value being £3,385,265. What are you going to be doing with these 5 properties at the end?
So all of the properties will be marketed to sell. We actually launched the 5 units sort of as a pre-launch on Rightmove just before Christmas, and we've actually had some interest already in 2 of the plots. So the smallest plot there is actually a bungalow, and then there's 4 detached houses ranging from the houses range from 2,500 to 3,000 square feet. The GDV that we've come up with is actually, we feel, the lower end of the actual value. So we're kind of being conservative there. I think we'll achieve more than that, especially with the initial interest that we've had. So, hopefully things will go well.
Okay, well, we'll look at some more detail on these properties in just a few minutes. This loan is going to be for a maximum period of 15 months. And please remember, first charge security is offered as registered with Land Registry to people lending on this particular project. This is where the site is located. You can see how far away it is, Wymondham there in relation to Norwich. You see the CrowdProperty flag on the left-hand side there, the A11 leading from Thetford through to Norwich and on then into Great Yarmouth. On the right-hand side of your screen, you can see there where the plot of land is. When then we take that plot of land, this is then the site context plan showing the position of those 5 detached properties that George was just talking about right there. Let's then look a bit more at the location. Southern area of Norfolk, predominantly residential area. A couple of miles, as you heard George say earlier, northeast of Wymondham railway station. Various local schools and supermarkets around about as well, including Norwich International Airport. That's not too far away, maybe 9 miles or so via that A11. And Wymondham Abbey Monastery, the remains of that date back to 1107. That's not too far away from this site as well. So lots of sort of stuff around this area that would be of interest to people. Talk us through these floor plans then, George.
Yeah, so we're looking at plot 1, which is the detached bungalow. It's as you can see, 3-bed, 2 en-suites and a main bathroom. Good size kitchen, sort of diner, and then obviously separate lounge. We're going to put fireplaces into all of the units and wood burners. You've also got scope here. We're just going to have a nice garden, but you've got scope here. You can immediately see the purchaser may want to sort of do something there behind the kitchen diner to extend the living space. Detached double garage as well. So this is ideal for sort of a retirement couple maybe moving up to the Norfolk area. Bungalows in Wymondham achieve a very, very good rate per square metre, so we've got high hopes for this one.
When we move on then to plots 2 and 3, they're just slightly different design.
Yes, yeah, so these are the smaller of the detached houses. So again, good size family units. You've got lovely living area, sort of main family area downstairs with the kitchen diner family room, sort of a formal living room study there as well, which could be used as a playroom. Obviously the garage is attached to the property, which is nice. You don't see that very often now. So there's, they could utilise that space not only for vehicle parking but storage as well. And then upstairs you've got some nice master suite with the sort of dressing area and large bathroom. And a second the second bedroom has got the ensuite as well, and the remaining bedrooms just feed off the main bathroom. So yeah, again, good size units, all bifold doors out into the back garden. So the lane is very private as well. It's got a lovely hedge along the front of it. So it's nice.
Now that's the proposed floor plans. Here's how the elevations for those two units look as well. Look lovely, don't they?
Yeah. Again, really good family units. Obviously, when we come onto the CGIs in a little while, they do really stand out. So we're very proud of the adaptations that we've done over the last couple of years.
So moving on then to the fourth unit, there's the floor plans and the elevations. Talk us through this.
Yeah, so this is sort of the gem, if you like, of the 5 properties. This is a corner plot, largest garden area, 5 bedrooms. Again, there's a fantastic living space downstairs, family room, kitchen, diner, formal sort of dining room and lounge as well. All bifold doors back out onto the garden. Again, just a really nice unit. Detached garage on this one, double garage, with sort of a large flowing drive, so you can park plenty of vehicles.
And then our fifth site. This looks quite a long building, doesn't it? It looks a good size.
Yeah. So again, this is it's the same size as plot 4, slightly different layout. Sort of you've got a bedroom space over the garages. The garage is attached on this one. But again, nice family area downstairs. You've got the sort of walk-through dressing room on the master suite into the bathroom. It's just, again, a well laid out unit. And there's actually, Adrian built an identical unit to this in Wymondham quite recently. And it achieved a good value. So yeah, we've got good hopes for this one.
So let's look then at those values. These are the proposed RICS valuations of them, whether it be a bungalow, which you can see as property 1 on there is, or the others being detached houses, getting quite a sizable value there, dependent on the square footage of those properties, and of course mix of 3-bedroom or 5 bedrooms. And the computer generated images being shown on the right hand side.
Yeah, so you can see there, on the CGI, we've actually put a sort of gated entrance into these units. Unfortunately, we couldn't put it in on the CGI, but it's actually along that whole front there. It's a sort of gorgeous hedge with a large oak tree in the middle of as you go down the lane. So it's very private, whereas there it looks quite open. But for the purposes of the CGI, there's no other way to do it really. But so I feel like the values are, again, as I said before, very realistic. You can see the sort of aluminium windows we're going to be going for on these units, the roller garage door to match the front door there, the composite doors. Just nice looking properties. And the site is not only got the hedge around the front, but it's enclosed with trees and hedging, so it's nice and private.
Great setting. So this is the first phase of a 4-phase raise, where we're looking to raise a total facility of £2 million. This first phase raise is for £600,000. The estimated gross development value is £3,385,265. Estimated construction costs of £1.5 million, and the initial drawdown is going to be the £600,000, given the loan to value of 60%. The anticipated build loan time is 50 months, but how long do you think it'll take you to build it before you can then have a chance to sell them, George?
Yeah, so we actually started clearing the site in December last year. Say last year, it's not that long ago. And we've this week we've actually pulled the first foundation out, so we're cracking on there already. We're anticipating that the first couple of properties will be ready by Q3 of this year, and sort of the site will be fully finished in 14 months' time. So we've given ourselves a little bit of breathing space for an extra month there on the loan period. But we're hoping to sort of have pre-sales tied up by spring really on all the units, given the demand in Wymondham for this type of property. So yeah, we're going to be under pressure to get them built anyway from the purchasers. So we want to get this wrapped up as quickly as possible, and Adrian's the guy to deliver that. That's what he's good at.
So this loan is targeted to start on the 31st of January 2020. It's going to be paying lenders 8% per annum interest, and that's rolled up and paid at the exit. Remember, it's secured with a first charge security against the property project. You mentioned about Adrian, your builder, building other projects. Here's a similar one, isn't it? The case study I can share with you, one of two I've got. Elmcroft House in, is that Wicklewood?
Yeah, so Wicklewood is just literally along from Wymondham. Again, sort of bespoke area. We picked this one for the pitch deck here because it's a large property. You can see the sort of GDV of this unit. It's similar to what we're building. You can see the sort of quality there that Adrian is used to building and size of property. So, which is specifically why we've appointed him on this job.
And then another case study we can share with you. This is a project in Fox Lane. Tell us more about this one that Adrian has done.
Yeah, so Fox Lane, that was actually he's just completed the last unit, sold just over Christmas. 4 units there. Blowfield is just a bit further along towards Yarmouth. So nice area, but not as good as Wymondham. But yeah, it was a nice find. Good sized properties, good family homes. You know, sort of the middle end of the market. But although they were middle end of the market, it was the higher end of that, if that makes sense. So you know, good units there, good finish.
So that's our project then. This is the land at Spinks Lane, Wymondham in Norfolk, NR 180SR. So your next steps are then, please to make sure you understand this loan and carry out your own due diligence both on this project and on the development team, and then decide how much you would like to lend. CrowdProperty.com is then the place to be, where you can then pledge to fund on this particular project. You'll then have anti-money laundering checks carried out as per usual, and then you'll be invited to send your own funds into your online e-wallet when it's called for, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So this is phase 1 of a 4-phase raise, where we're looking to raise, please, £600,000, which is paying 8% per annum interest. Thank you for watching this webinar. We look forward to joining us again soon on another funding opportunity here at CrowdProperty.com.